Hi, and welcome to a Purposeful Woman podcast. And today we have Anja. And Anja, its greatest passion is creating harmony, balance, and focus in the home. She gently teaches clients their rudiments of how the inner self reflects in our living space. With over 16 years of experience in interior design, functionality, and energy clearing, she helps clients consciously reconnect to their living space on the soul level, where a reboot, refresh, and renewal brings clients to fall in love with the spaces in their home again. I love it. Hi, Anya, and welcome.
I just want to tell you, I love listening to your podcast and all the people that you have. You bring such a lovely connection from other entrepreneurs and helping. You're such a helpful person for this world to be a better place. So I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, as always, I would love to know your story. Like, tell us everything. How did you become a energy clearing and interior design person?
So I'm sure many of your listenership will connect with this, but it was a soul contract that I actually didn't even know about in my early years. And so I grew up in Europe and I had a Catholic German mom and an Indian Hindu dad. So in the 60s, imagine, that coming together. And so when I was 3, I came over here and I'm the oldest of 4. And I was really connected very closely with my German grandmother. And even at that early age, I really loved how she had a love for spaces. I loved how she positioned her furniture and her flowers and everything like that. So even early on, I knew. But growing up in my early years was not a very happy time. We were, my parents immigrated to another country. There was language, there was finding jobs. So there was a lot of sort of dismantlement going on. It wasn't very functional. It was quite dysfunctional. I mean, my parents loved us to death, but they could do what they could only do. There was depression. There was, all of that. So I actually really lived in a dysfunctional home, right? It wasn't organized. It wasn't clean. It wasn't very inspiring. And so even at, the early years of teenagers, I would have anxiety attacks and some of my siblings as well. And so I didn't really know that till later on, of course, in my journey, but I did have a lot of resentment to my parents. But then throughout the years, doing work and self work and everything like that, in 2004, I started my first company, which was a staging company. And I'm from Toronto, Ontario. The early 2000s was sort of the beginning, and I was the pioneer, not the first one, but definitely one of the beginning ones. And when staging a property, and many of your viewership know that, there is a lot of pre-work that has to happen. So I would come in with a consultation, which was about 2 hours, and we would do a walkthrough, and we would talk about what we need to refresh, redo, and all the different changes that had to be made to get the house to look great. And before I came with all my things, there was an amazing shift in them. And it didn't matter if they were a couple downsizing from a 5-bedroom or somebody bursting out of the seams and needing a bigger house or a single person. It was all intertwined with all 3 areas. And one was, oh my God, I can't believe all the stuff I had. I can't believe what, like, and they're just realizing why they held on to it. Some of them put it in storage, but still you could notice a big change. The second was their energy was so much better. Like they had this glow around them, and it was crunch time. Like it's a stressful time to sell a house, but they shifted, which was just really so amazing. And then the third thing was like, oh my God, I love my space. Why didn't I do this before? And that's before I brought in my furniture and decor. And so in 2016, I said, I really want to work with people who are living in their spaces. And so that's how House Coach came. And of course, I did some more work. I did, intuitive work, energy cleansing, and all of that. But that really was the next step to doing what I do now. And I had to do all of that to get to where I am.
Absolutely, I love it. Love the story. So, what would you see? You probably see lots of homes. So, what would you say will be the number one, like number? I think the number one you already said that was like decluttering, but like top 3 mistakes that people make when
Okay.
they
I
are.
love this question. Yeah. So number one thing is, because self-care is so key, we don't actually think about ourselves in self-care. Our bedrooms are not the way they should be. I mean, we love going to the hotels. We love doing the spa thing and everything like that. And so why don't we bring like the hotel chic bedroom in our bedroom? So what I noticed in bedrooms, it was like an aftermath. We never put ourselves, maybe not matching lamps, not beautiful luxury drapery, bedding, and these are not all needing to be expensive. Like I'm pretty high and low where, but that's one area, was our bedrooms. The other area that people really didn't like, were not cognizant on, is fixing little things that were broken, or chips here or there, like on the wall, the paint, or maybe a little bit by the steps. So that was the second thing that was huge in spaces. And then the third thing is that kind of placement of furniture was really off. And then once I just even positioned maybe their artwork, or they're like, oh, it kind of like arranged so much nicer and everything like that. And that was all their stuff. So yeah, great question.
I think, to rearrange things, because some people, it just, I think that they just don't care, or like they don't have a division for it. I guess you get to hire a person to actually do that professionally. So what would you recommend if you are not ready to hire somebody to do like the first steps to doing your house?
Yes. And it is so key to live a successful life, and especially, in entrepreneurship. I mean, we want to be focused on what we do. And if our house is out of bounds, there's something that's not going, hand in hand. So, what is really key to do is, sorry, can you just tell me that ask me that question? Because
So
my
what
mind
the
went.
person, what would you recommend to do
Okay.
if they're not ready to hire somebody?
Yeah. Yes.
What
Yes.
is
Thank
the
you so
first
much.
thing?
So like yeah. So, there's different levels. So the first part that's really key is to have your place decluttered. Like, and I don't mean like, I mean, just maintain your space, have everything in its space, like-minded with like-minded. So it doesn't matter if you're starting out and you're listening to this and saying, oh gosh, I have like too much cutlery. Well, it doesn't matter. Just put like with like, because after a while, you're going to say, oh, there's too much of these pieces I don't need. Second thing is, cleaning is really important. There's areas that we don't really think about. Like most of us do have a clean home, but what dust does, it brings things down. And you can even feel it when you say that. And dust sits on baseboards, light fixtures. So really make sure that you clean. And those two things are all about maintaining. I
Mhm.
mean, we're so big on other areas of our life, our health and everything. Take the time to maintain your home. That is key. And with COVID, I've always talked about, especially go shop in your own home. So take a pillow from the living room, and maybe that pillow will look great in the bedroom. Like move things around
I
without
guess
having to spend
that's
any money.
already a big task to go declutter. I know it's like the last thing we want to do, but it's really important. So the last question that I have for you, and it's not even a question, it's like filling the blank. So filling the blank for me. If you really knew me, you will know that I am bullying.
And it's brand new, that it didn't come to me yesterday, but that I'm a manifester. I manifested this home, manifested the cottage I have. So again,
Awesome.
didn't know that at an early age, but yes.
That is so awesome. All right. So I know you have a gift for our audience. So what it is? Tell us more about it.
This came together last year through COVID, and it is Create the Room You Love. And it's a step-by-step guide for you to pick one space. And there's different sections. So you'd look at section one, where maybe you can, circle some words that you want the space to feel. Then there's a meditation that I ask you to do, and you go through the space and you walk around the space. And I really am clear on not having any judgment, just awareness of what it is in there that doesn't serve us. Because when we're conscious and when we're present, we're so aware of all these beautiful possibilities that can come our way. And we're not like stuck and living in the
Thank you.
past.
Thank you. Thank you. So where our audience can find you as well, and we get to move forward.
Yes. So you can download this by going to the website, which is anyahousecoach.com. And then you can also find me on Instagram, which is Anja House Coach, and then
Okay.
Facebook as well. So those are the three places.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. It's always so interesting to bring not just the coaches and really something interesting and different and love interior design in a house. I think it's very important as we work from home. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode. We will link all in the show notes. So go and definitely scroll it if you're listening and look it down if you are watching. And then we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Okay. Thank you, Viktoriia.
And if you love this episode and you would love to see more of that, click the subscribe button to Purposeful Woman Podcast. And don't forget to text us to stay in tune with the Purposeful community for awesome tricks by texting to number +1 401 399 4105. And we will link descriptions in the episode to all of that we mentioned today. Bye, turn your one day to day one with a purposeful day.